In this video, I'm going to be discussing actually the sign up case. So if what happened if the user tried to sign up and try to register himself within the software application. So if the case matches with the action, then we're going to have to set out the request for an email. So if this request for an email is set, then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to process that request email inside an email variable. And then we're going to create an SQL variable, and we're going to select the ID from the users table where username is this and limit is actually 1, so not more than 1. And then we're going to actually execute this SQL. Actually, we are getting the username from the users table in here, and then we are executing this query with the help of db query SQL and putting the result inside the result variable. And then we are actually calling this result variable as a parameter by the number rows method. Number rows method is actually providing us the number of rows inside a table. And if the number of rows inside the table executing this query is equal to 0, then you're going to have to insert the username inside the database, as this would be a new username. So insert into users username, password and email, and values would be username, password and email which the user have entered himself. So this would be actually the value of username which the user the person who is using the application would have inserted by himself. And then if any error happened, we're going to have to log it out in here, just like we have logged it out inside Java files, like using logger. So the next thing what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to execute the database query just like we have executed it in here. And if it is executed successfully, we're going to output the successful, otherwise we're going to output failed. And if the database number rows, which means that if the username who entered the username is actually the number of rows is not equal to 0, more than 1 or more than 2, then you're going to have to output that sign up username crashed. And if the request for the email has not been processed, then you're going to have to output that it is the sign up process has been failed.